This is going to be a programming video, don't worry. I just had to share a huge milestone with you all. I just finished the last commit last night for NatalieParser, which gets all of the test suite passing that I was shooting for. We have a test suite for Natalie, our Ruby compiler, and we pull in stuff from RubySpec, which is the community-driven spec library for specifying how Ruby works. And we have a portion of those specs pulled in. So anyway, it's 60,000 lines of Ruby code, which is a decent representation of what Ruby is and looks like. And our parser can now parse all of that. So that is awesome. I'm so excited and I'm so happy. Here is some footage of my dogs playing in the water. Anyway, it's been a long road. This is now my third RubyParser project that I've worked on. The first one was on a plane, on an airplane back in 2019. I had no internet connection and I thought, I wonder how hard it is to parse Ruby. And did they find something? They think something lives in there. Anyway, my first parser was using just some very rudimentary string scanning code using the string scanner library in Ruby, and it was a disaster. It didn't work at all. Naturally, I didn't know what I was doing. And then my second parser was using a parser expression grammar, or parsing expression grammar. I'm not sure which one that is. Used a PEG library in C++. And I thought, that should be good because, and you can watch those videos on my YouTube channel. I'll try to link to those. Dogs! So my dogs got lost. There we go. There they are. So the second one was a parsing expression grammar. I had read that the Python language had used a parsing expression grammar for their language, but Python's quite different than Ruby, and maybe it's just not possible in Ruby, or maybe I didn't know what I was doing. Probably the latter. It was slow. It wasn't great. It had some precedence issues, and I never finished it. I just got started on it, and then I abandoned it because it was so slow. Now, it could have been the library that I was using, but I felt like I didn't have enough control over sorry, I thought I heard something. I didn't have enough control over the parser that was generated, and I didn't know how to tune it. So that was when I decided that I would just make my own by hand from scratch. And here we are. And so I have been working on a RubyParser off and on since the end of 2019. And so that tells you how long it's been. It's been a while. And so it's been a fun ride. I've learned a lot. It's not done yet. There's a lot left to do. We're going to start working on that here very shortly. I'm going to go back to my desk, and we're going to pull in the Ruby spec, the spec suite from RubyParser, the gem that we were copying and modeling after. It wasn't really a port. It was more like just looking at the output of what RubyParser produced and copying that. But now we're going to actually use the MIT licensed test suite from RubyParser and pull it into our project and see how many tests are failing. Probably a lot. I would guess a lot. But just thought I'd make a few videos about that and see how it goes. Okay. Oh man, I'm so stoked. This is going to be so cool. This is the project we've been working on. I've been working on this since, I don't know, when was the last video? Let's go look. So I had the fail playlist, which is the one that we abandoned, and then we have this one. And when we started this one was December 1st, 2020. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so a year and a half or something like that. Wow, that's just blowing my mind. So I think this just proves if you fail, don't give up, keep going. And I feel like I have exemplified that a little bit. But today, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go look up RubyParser from Seattle RB, because that's the gem that we've been modeling everything after. We're going to go grab the test code from test RubyParser and figure out how to apply these tests to our parser. So honestly, haven't put any thought into this. I have no idea how I'm going to do this. It's just Ruby, so cool. They're using mini tests. That's cool. They're doing require RubyParser. We could just swap that out for NatalieParser, I suppose. Not sure what the significance of that is. Or PT test case. Is that something that they made? Or what is that? PT test case. That is not in their code. I don't know where that came from. So we get to figure that out. They're monkey patching the sexp library, or the class, and then they do some setup. So what's a typical test look like? It looks like this. They have some Ruby and then PT. What does PT mean? I've been calling it AST or node, or what is parsed tree? I bet that's it. Parsed tree. This is the Ruby, and then they have assert parse, and assert parse is here, saying the same file. I don't know. Let's just see what happens if we yank this whole thing down. Paste that in. It doesn't even say the license on here anywhere. There it is. Just going to copy and paste this whole thing in to here, and something like this. I don't know. Is that dumb? Just want that to look separate from this. We could probably word wrap this at like 80 characters or something. There we go. Feels good. I don't know. I love putting licenses in files that I don't create. Do I have everything installed? Yes. Ruby. Test RubyParser.rb. What could go wrong? Well, it's running a lot of tests, not with our parser. It just ran it with the RubyParser gem. Fascinating is that so many of them are failing. Am I on a really old version of RubyParser? RubyParser went to 3.19.1, so I can't imagine that that's the problem. Although that looks like it is exactly what the problem was. Fantastic. Does that mean that our tests are now failing because they changed something? No, our tests still pass. Now we need to see if we can change it. Test RubyParser. Tweak this a little bit. Load path. I think it's the same as colon, but I like spelling it out. From our directory, and then also ext. That's what we need to load NatalieParser. This, I guess, that's just weird. I don't know. That's something that's in somebody's home folder or something. Yeah, I'm getting rid of that. Don't know what PT test case is, but apparently it comes from one of the libraries. Maybe it's auto mini test or something. That's not the right test. Let's run this one. Uninitialized constant RubyParser. Okay, we could just say that RubyParser is equal to NatalieParser, because I think our API is largely compatible. Versions, okay, versions, each do class. Well, we certainly don't have that. Let's do class, and then versions equals, what's the latest? 19? So we'll just say our version is 19. V. I have no idea what that is. Okay, well, we'll just wing it. We'll wing it. What could go wrong? That goes there. This is a class. V19 is something, right? And then versions is V19. This is just us faking it. Okay, undefined method version, def self.version returns 19. Ooh, well, at least it runs. We got a ton of errors. Underslice constant, NatalieParser v22, v27, v24, v31. Okay, let's just look at this one. 5837. 5837. I just want to get anything working. Just even one test passing. That would be fantastic. Oh, RubyParser 319. They use this as the patch level thing. That's where I saw v19, right? Yes. Oh, no. That's not the same 19. Yeah, that has nothing to do with that. Was just a coincidence. Perfect. This makes more sense. This is version 1.8 of Ruby, version 1.9 of Ruby. So what we're targeting is 3.0. 3.0. And what was it complaining about? Initialize constant v31. Okay. I guess we'll make a v31. 3.1. v22, v25, v27. I mean, do I really want to make all of these? I mean, really, how far do we go down the rabbit hole? This feels like the wrong way to go about it, but I just need to get past those errors to see what else is going on. Ooh, what was that? Undefined method, block append for NatalieParser v24. Okay. So they have different parsers. We should probably play around with that. So let's do this. IRB are RubyParser. If I do RubyParser v27 and I do parse, foo, that's fine. That doesn't work. But if I do new foo.parse, nope. Expected 1 to 3 foo. Okay. What? Oh, right. They don't pass code in like that. They pass it in there. We'll just point them all back to the original RubyParser. We'll say we'll make our own RubyParser. Here's what we'll do. Versions 3.0. I think I can pass a block to this, and we'll just make a def version num. Version num, and I can do name pattern. I can say -n with a regex. I just want to test one thing. Let's test begin. Test begin. Okay, so only 20 errors now instead of a whole bunch. Still testing all those versions. We got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of that somehow, but just line 41 in parse. Okay. 41 in parse. So it was given 3, it was expecting 1, and that came from 5582. 5582. So we pass in the Ruby code, the path, and then a timeout. Okay. So there's an optional timeout. Path is string, I think, and timeout is 0, I guess. And we'll to do timeout. Okay. Ooh, unexpected begin, here expected expression. I think this is from our code. I mean, that looks just like our error messages. Really sad that our very first one failed, but that's okay. There's probably something else that I can get working. Let's just go with, how about begin, rescue, else, ensure, end. We'll just copy that one. Okay. Ooh, this is close. Sweet. Res body array, line 3. Oh my goodness gracious. It is kind of working. The thing that's not working, oh, it's a little different. Okay, let's test a different one. There's something else that's not working, which is it's wrapping everything in a block, but that's okay. Flip to. What in the world is flip to? Bug 121. I mean, there's so much in here. Test bug. Let's go way down. Here docs. literal concat, destir, evstir. Hey, this looks like something I worked on recently. Well, let's get this one. If we can get this one passing, we'll call it good. Undefined method literal concat for 1283. Processor, literal concat. Huh? What does that do? Logical op. Oh, so it's not just calling the parser. What is this? We've got a long way to go, friends. We've got a long way to go. Like I said, just one test that works. That's all I want. Just one test. This one looks very simple. Oh, it works. Oh my. It is sad that ran through 10 versions. I guess I need to figure that out. I don't care about all those other versions. We're just supporting 3.0. RubyParser supports a lot of versions. Okay, so what was the test? We just ran parse line block inline. Oh my goodness. Let's paste that in. So that's only in one place. So what causes that to run over and over and over again? Test RubyParser shared. Okay, what mixes that in? This gets mixed in. Oh, shared 1.9 plus. Okay. Oh, weird. It's like a weird nested mix-in thing. Okay, and then that gets included there, and that gets included there, and that gets included there. Boom. And there, and there, and there, and there, and there. Wow. Okay. So these are all the files. So what if I just commented that out and I commented this out and this, or I'll just delete it. We don't need it in the file. V25, V24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Yeah, let's just delete all the way to 20. Test RubyParser v19, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. So if I do that, I only get one test. I'm good with that, I think. So that means we don't need this. Does that also mean that we can just do 3.0 here? Yes, we didn't need all that. Okay, so we can simplify this quite a bit. So we can say class v30 RubyParser, and inside of here def self dot version 3.0 end, and that can get rid of all of that, and we don't need that. And now this can just go inside of here. Very simple, much simpler, and it works. Oh, it's beautiful. We got a test to pass. Boom. That's so fun. Let's commit it. Let's make a branch. So RubyParser, let's see, tests, RubyParser tests. Let's call it that. Copy in RubyParser tests and get one test passing. I actually want the to know the test. We'll just copy that into our commit. That way I'll remember which one is passing next time I get to this. We're going to push this up and do a pull request. I draft pull request. Get RubyParser test suite passing. We got this one test passing. Let's just copy in all of this. Why not? Why not? Boom, 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 boom. And then I'd like for this to run the in the test suite. So let's work on that. Should I just make it a part of this? Yes. We'll amend the other commit and we'll do push force. And so now get to go to watch it run. I can't wait to go tell somebody that this kind of works. Just having the to-do list there and knowing that it's there and it's ready and I can jump in and I can work on a little bit every morning with my coffee. I sip my coffee. I hang out with my dogs. That's a good feeling. Having the to-do list is the first step. So this looks very familiar, doesn't it? What was that error that it just helpfully closed for me? It looks like it's just an abort of some sort, but I don't even see the output here. We got this output and then just nothing. It just goes away. Fascinating. I wonder if the standard error isn't getting captured somehow. Well, it works. It really works. Like, we got a test passing. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Huh? Can you believe it? It works.